Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Garden of Sports Fantasy Hockey Podcast. I'm your host, Zach Gardner, alongside my brother, Jake.
Hello, everyone.
And today we have Week 6 waiver wire ads. So I know everybody's excited for that. So we're just gonna hop right in after that explosion. So without any further ado,
there it was. Glory hole.
We're gonna break into our weekly 3x3. We're gonna find our glory hole players. So
wow,
thank you, Jerry Jones. Those of you that don't know football, that's the Dallas Cowboys owner. He's full of stuff for us to make sound bites of. So, anyways, my first guy off the board this week here, Kevin Hayes. So I just really like this guy, especially for points leagues. And I know he looks like he fell out of a 10-story building, but that is not the point. The point is he's scoring points, right, Jake?
That's right. Man's a legend.
Yeah, he's got 3 goals and 11 assists in 15 games this year. He's got 1 goal and 2 assists in his last week in only 4 games. And he's only 19% rostered, so widely available. Go scoop him up.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's that low. I figured he'd be near 50.
Yeah, I believe he's their leading scorer. If not, he's one of their top 3 scorers. So,
Does he get hits or something extra that would do better in our league?
Yeah, he mixes it up, a little bit of hits and stuff too. You know, he's not going crazy with any of that, but he does get you some periphery.
Yeah, but he's getting the points, so you think that would be enough?
The points
to
is the main thing that really bumps him up.
In any other league,
yeah. If he's not getting points like this, I usually like him as like a streaming option for like on a Sunday for like some hits or something. But now I'm looking at him as like a hold until further notice because he just keeps going out there and scoring fucking points.
Whoa, yeah. Yeah, my first guy.
I think the face scares some people off. Honestly,
but it's hockey.
It is. That's true. I don't know what
They're
I'm saying.
all ugly. I don't know.
True. All right, who you got, Jake?
Riley Smith, going crazy. 8 goals and 13 points, 49 shots on net, and a +8 this season. 6 goals have come in the last 5 games. I think he's a must grab right now, and he's still only 43.8% rostered in ESPN leagues.
Yeah, that is kind of low. But I would imagine that's going to keep going up. I imagine by next week he's going to be up over 70.
Yeah, last chance to get him.
Definitely your last chance. I'm just going to pop over to Daily Faceoff here. Shout out to the guys over at Daily Faceoff. They do if you guys don't use it, it's a wonderful tool for fantasy hockey. I can't stress how awesome this website is, and they have a podcast too. If you want to listen to their podcast, they put out episodes like multiple a week. So I mean, they're
is this an advertisement? Or
they're full on, and I just want to give them a shout out because I use this website for most of my research, and so but who am I looking for here? Riley Smith. Okay, but it's a great website. You can go there. You can click on line combinations, and it'll tell you like up to the minute what lines are rolling out there, so you can check if a player is getting top line or top power play. And you can also look over there to see what goalies are starting. So I mean, it's a great tool for fantasy hockey to help you out. So I mean, go over to Daily Faceoff and make it one of your bookmarks so you can keep checking on players. But right now, Riley Smith is second line, and he is on the second power play, so he's getting some power play time. He's going off so far to start the year, and scoop him up while he's getting a bunch of points because Vegas, like him and Vegas, are just really hot right now. Vegas is on a fucking roll, and guys like this are definitely a part of their winning, and you want to get guys like this on your team that are getting hot.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah. Also, make sure you listen to our podcast every week too, guys.
My God. Who's your second guy, bro?
My second guy, Sean Dursey. So he is defenseman on LA Kings. So it's late and you're looking for some D. Who's going to be your go-to guy? I know this is a common problem you got, right, Jake? Who are you going to go to when you absolutely need to? Dursey could be your Huckleberry. He's available and he's definitely down to score, use some points. 13.8% rostered, so he's very available and ready to mingle, right, Jake? He's second line, second power play. 2 goals in his game last night. He's a bit of a banger. He's not like there's other defensemen you can go to if you're just looking for hits, but he does mix it up a little bit. But he's definitely more of a scoring D-man. He's got 3 goals, 5 assists on the season. Very deep league move, but I just like it just because I feel like there's breakout potential here just waiting to... I feel like he's like a ticking time bomb, and I just want my hands on this guy before he pops off and I can't get a chance to get him.
Wow.
I like those deep league scoring D-men, that could pop off and potentially be like top 30 guys. So yeah, Sean Dursey, just give him a look, especially if you're in a league that values more defensive points and banger points and stuff. This is a guy that you could maybe look at. So yeah, Sean Dursey. All right, moving on to Jake. Enough of that.
You're really getting into him.
All right, okay. That was too far. That was a bridge too far, my friend.
My second guy, Kirby Dach. He had 2 assists last game and 2 goals in the game before that. He's now on the top line with Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield. He has 14 points over 15 games, only 19.3% rostered. So I just thought this would be your chance to get ahead of the pack. Get him on your team.
Yeah, I love the fact that he's on that line. Call that the youngster line. We probably come up with something more clever than that even. But yeah, I love the fact that he's on that line. Jake, that's the best possible position he could have been in, is to be on that line with those 2 guys. He's definitely going to be benefiting from those 2 for sure. They're helping him pump his numbers up a little bit. I'm definitely all over this move right now. I think this is a great move right here to get this guy for basically for nothing right now. And I think this could has a chance to be something that lasts.
Yeah, has the chance, and at least you can grab him while he's hot.
Yeah, I suspect that if he has another good week, that's going to be way up to around 50% next week. I would guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Kirby Dach, great move there, guys. And then my third guy here, Brandon Hagel, 28% rostered. So I know we're getting up into the high owned here. So just 28%. Slow your roll here. But Brandon Hagel, he's a winger on Tampa Bay Lightning. Usually like to get guys on that team. And you wouldn't suspect, this isn't like a household name, but right now, he's on the top power play and the top line with Braden Point and Nikita Kucherov. And I think Stamkos is with those 3 on the power play too. I mean, geez, talk about deployment. Go get this guy while he's up there with the big boys. On the season in 15 games, he's got 5 goals and 7 assists. And he's just kind of ho-hum, 1 goal, 1 assist in his last 3 games over the last week. You just love the deployment with two great players in this league. If he stays there, this guy should definitely be owned. So yeah, go look for Brandon Hagel and see if you can scoop him up.
Yeah, man, I like it. My third guy, Tyson Barrie, a little higher owned, but I thought it's still important to talk about him because we haven't actually hit him on our podcast yet. 2 goals and 3 assists in the last 4 games. 7 of his 12 points have come on the power play. And I think he bangs for him to be doing this good. He's averaging 3.8. Defenseman on the Oilers, he's 57.5% rostered. Zach, what do you think?
He's definitely not a banger, but that's okay. He's definitely just getting all his stuff from scoring points right now. Because his partner is Darnell Nurse. There's not enough bangs around for him to get any. So, he's on the first pairing with Darnell Nurse, and he is on that first power play. He's the only defenseman on that power play. You love to see it. And he's definitely the best scoring D-man. Makes sense that he's out there on that power play with McDavid, with Draisaitl, with Nugent Hopkins, with Hyman. I mean, with Evander Kane out, those are your 4 best scorers. And so Tyson Barrie's just out there with those guys. Just pass it to whoever. Yeah, definitely a great move right now. You definitely always want to try and get the top power play D-man on Edmonton, whoever it is, whether it's Bouchard, Nurse, or Barrie, so we just got to see how, go get him as long as he's up there, because they'll change it up here in a couple of weeks, because Edmonton never sticks with anything, so.
All right.
Yeah, so that's the 3x3, everybody. Hope you can go get some of those guys if you don't already, but hopefully you're going to scoop these guys up now. I want to see these numbers on all these guys up next week. And so with that, we'll break into surprises of the week.
A surprise, to be sure, but a welcome one.
Thank you, Emperor. As always, we don't pay him enough to be on this show, huh, Jake?
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, talk about trying to schedule. I mean, he's trying to build the Death Star. I mean, he's got a lot on his plate, and he still finds time for the little guy. So you got to give it to the Emperor. I think good things are happening to the galaxy. He seems like he's got things together.
Yeah.
Anyways, I digress. We don't need to get into politics on this show. Nice surprise. Dougie Hamilton, he's having a resurgence on the Devils. 4 goals, 8 assists in 15 games played this season. He's got 2 goals and 2 assists in 3 games played this last week. Love to see it. He's had a rough couple of years with injuries and stuff, but he's a big part of New Jersey kind of taking that next step this year. Him being that big veteran that veteran defensive leader that they really have needed to get all these young guys kind of going on the right path. There's a lot to like here with the Devils, and I think Dougie Hamilton is definitely a big part of them taking that next step. And it's good to see, because there were some questions on if, he would ever get back to that great defenseman that he was, in years previous. So good to see. Good for Dougie.
True. Hopefully he can keep it up. My surprise, all the crazy injuries to star players in the last week. So everyone saw the Evander Kane injury with the skater over the wrist. Pretty scary. And supposedly he almost lost his hand. So glad that he's not going to. And hopefully he heals up great. And then Zach Orwinski out for the season. Top defenseman on the Blue Jackets. And yeah, quite a blow. Nick Blankenberg and Adam Boquist will be taking over his top line. Oh no, they're also on IR.
Yeah, those are the two guys that those are the two obvious choices that would have been the guys
so who's taking
to go
over.
So right now, the guy that's taking over, I have him in Deep League Moves, Jake Bean.
Oh,
we'll be talking about him a little later, but yeah, he's the next fucking guy up, because their next 2 offensive defensemen also go out like at the same time. Werenski's out for the whole season. It's just, you couldn't have asked for worse luck for the Blue Jackets blue line.
True. All right, well, after that misread, Matt's got Bowen Byram out with lower body injury and is week to week. So
that one's rough.
Good news there.
Yeah, that's definitely rough, because he was having a phenomenal start to the season. He was definitely looking like he was definitely taking over how Devin Taves was doing so good last year. Jake, is that like second kind of D-man in Colorado?
Yeah.
That's what Bowen Byram was doing like the first month of the season. So it really sucks to see him kind of like whenever he gets going and on a roll, he always has something that just stops him in his tracks. And, another injury that he has to overcome now to get back on the ice. It's just, when he's out there, he makes stuff happen. He looks great, but he can never put any consistent play out there. It just really sucks.
Jeez.
No, it's just because he could be so good. He could be a great fantasy player. He just, with the injuries that he has every year, it's just You know, he just can't put anything together. It really stinks. I hope he could ever get a fucking full season. But yeah, so with that, good surprises. That kind of, seamlessly makes us transition over into injury news.
Next level.
We talked about the big ones there, so now we'll just go over all the rest of the injuries.
Fantasy relevant, right?
Fantasy relevant. So, Anaheim, we got Kevin Shattenkirk day to day. So, if you're a Shattenkirk owner, monitor that one. Arizona Coyotes, Nick Schmaltz on injured reserve, but he may be back ahead of schedule from a rib injury, so be watching Nick Schmaltz. Whenever Schmaltz is out there, usually there's a good amount of points. And then Jacob Chikrin might be coming off injured reserve next week from his wrist injury, so be watching if you're a Jacob Chikrin owner and you've been having him on your IR, he might be coming back next week. Boston Bruins, Jeremy Swayman, he's been a good, streamer goalie this year. He's on injured reserve, so that one kind of sucks. He's like the best streaming option for goalies. Buffalo Sabres, we got Henry Jokiharju on injured reserve with a facial fracture. Could be back in the lineup Tuesday or Wednesday. Calgary Flames, we got Michael Stone going to his favorite place, the injured reserve. With an undisclosed injury. So, that's usually where he ends up after he puts like 2 great weeks together. He usually misses the rest of the season every year. So that's awesome. Just kind of another Michael Stone year. Okay, so moving on from that one. Carolina Hurricanes, we got Toivo Teravainen. You couldn't have asked for a worse start for Teravainen. If I would have thought, but at the beginning of the year, what would be like an awful start for Teravainen, I wouldn't have guessed it would be even as bad as it's been. Now he goes to injured reserve with an upper body injury, so that's just terrible. And then we got Frederick Anderson on injured reserve with an undisclosed injury retroactive to November 6th. We hope he gets right and gets back out there. He's a great goalie when he plays. And then we got all the studs on Chicago Blackhawks to talk about. No one fantasy relevant there. Okay. Colorado Avalanche, Bowen Byram, as you heard Jake mention. We got Samuel Girard out. Sorry about that. Columbus Blue Jackets, we got Jakub Voracek on injured reserve with an upper body injury. We got Patrick Laine out. As of a daily face-off, he's still listed on the first line, so hopefully that's nothing there. Yep. Scrolling through. Jake, play us out, Jake.
Oh my god. Is that everybody?
I'm looking through. I'm looking for some fantasy relevant guys. New Jersey Devils, Mackenzie Blackwood, MCL sprain, been placed on injured reserve. Hate to see that. He's a good streaming option goalie. Ottawa Senators, we got Artem Zub on injured reserve with an upper body injury. Won't likely return until the end of next week. And then we also got Thomas Chabot on the injured reserve. That sucks. And it's looking like... Oh, no. Seattle Kraken, Jamie Oleksiak on injured reserve. One of my great guys to go to for bangs on the injured reserve, so he won't be banging. He won't be banging no more for a little while. All right, that's looking like all the injuries. Jake, back to you.
Oh my god. Well, seamless. Once again. Deep league moves. Do we want to switch through on these, or do you just want to hit them?
Yeah, well, let's just go every other one. You start.
Jason Zucker. So, season
Zuckerberg?
stats. Yeah, close relative. Cousins. Season stats, 15 minutes, 18 ice time, 4 goals, 9 assists. That's pretty dang good for an available player. Yeah. And then the last week, he's had 14 minutes and 15 seconds of ice time, 2 goals and 3 assists. So, pretty hot right now.
Yeah, pretty hot, looking pretty good. He's always a good streaming option, and usually he'll put a couple a month or two together where he's a good pick up and hold for a little while. So this is his hot streak that he's going on. So yeah, good little sneaky move here.
Sure.
And then we also got Jake Bean. Go ahead and flick him into your lineups, everybody.
Oh my God.
He's a replacement for all the blue line injuries on Columbus. A sneaky good move right now is he's on the second pairing and on the first top power play with Line A and Gaudreau and all their best players. So, yeah, go ahead and find a way to get Jake Bean on your team because I think he's going to be the beneficiary now with all those crazy blue line injuries they've had on Columbus.
Wow. Radko Gudas.
Yes.
Guy we talk about often because he's usually a banger.
He's a big banger.
Season stats, yeah, the scoring doesn't look as strong. 1 goal and 4 assists, 20 minutes and 39 seconds of ice time. Last week, still 20 minutes of ice time, 1 assist, but he gets the bangs, the hits. So if you're in a banger league, this is a move. Otherwise, probably not.
Yeah. I'm looking for the whole season. Okay, yeah. So in 15 games this year, he's got 49 hits, and 29 blocks. So he's 2 blocks a game and, 3.5 hits per game. And those hits are going to go up because he's normally hitting like around 4 or 5 times a game it's fucking insane what he does. But yeah, so yeah, definitely a big banger. And the last 2 years, he's been the hits leader in the NHL. So, he's got a pedigree to uphold as the top hitter. And then we got William Karlsson. He's averaging 17-16 ice time for the year with 4 goals and 9 assists on Vegas. Over the last week, he's 17-40 ice time, so right, in his average, and then 3 assists over the last week. So, I mean, he's kind of just ho-humming along with Vegas, and they're just kind of scooting along right now. Those pesky Knights.
Okay. Dylan Stromey.
Yeah, he's on the top power play on Washington.
Wait, did you just hit him?
No, I'm just saying. I just wanted to mention that Strome is on the top power play on Washington.
Season stats: 17 minutes, 34 seconds of ice time, 4 goals and 8 assists. Pretty dang good. Last week, 15 and 51 seconds, 2 goals and 1 assist. So, yeah, pretty strong deep league move.
Yeah, definitely. You just love that he's on that top power play. That's the main thing. So, go take a look on him if you're looking for a scorer. He is a low-owned guy that is on a top power play, so that's always something you're looking for when you're picking your streamers,
For sure.
And then next, I wish it lined up that Jake was talking about this next guy, his favorite player.
My God.
But I'll take this one, Jake. It's okay. Jonathan Taves, having a resurgent year. On the season, he's got 1655 ice time, 7 goals, 3 assists, a few power play points in there. The last 7 days, he's got 1 assist. So, I mean, not crazy, but, if you're looking at Blackhawks players, besides Patrick Kane, you're looking at low owned guys and Taves, people are slow to let him back in their life. They've been burnt before, it's just hard to open yourself back up to the possibility that he's going to have a good season again, but I think it's okay, everybody. You can open your doors. You can let him in. Just let him in. He's cold. He's out there. It's winter time. He wants to be on your team. Just let him come in for a little bit. He might surprise you. So yeah, Jonathan Taves.
Oh my God. All right. Anthony Mantha. Season stats: 14 minutes and 52 seconds of ice time, 5 goals and 4 assists. Last week, 14 minutes and 19 seconds of ice time average, 1 goal and 2 assists. I think he's just kind of a streaky guy that you can always stream.
He is streaky, definitely, but he's a guy that can score goals in bunches. So usually somebody that you're looking at, he's definitely low owned, available, and he can put the biscuit in the basket. And then we got and then we got Michael Backlund. This is you're scraping the barrel here. But I digress. He's got 17-17 ice time on the season with 5 goals and 3 assists. A lot of that's been happening over the last week with 18-25 ice time. He got bumped up to the second power play. So they're giving him some power play run. He's got 2 goals and 2 assists over the last week. So, Calgary, they're starting to do some hockey. And,
hockey.
As they say in hockey, let's do that hockey.
Thank you, Chance.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Michael Backlund, definitely a deep league move, but hey, he's doing the scoring hockey thing right now. So, yeah.
My God. All right, and here's a super deep cut and horrible haircut. Philippe Cheidel, season stats: 13 minutes of ice time, 4 goals and 4 assists. Last 7 days, 14 minutes of ice time, 2 goals and 3 assists. So he's had a very hot week.
Yeah,
I feel like you could grab him while he's hot.
Yeah, definitely as a hockey player, you just got to be disappointed in that haircut. Hockey players usually hold themselves to a higher.
Do you see that thing?
Usually hold themselves to a higher standard. I know, Jake. It's terrible.
He also looks like his eyes are each looking a different way.
All right, you know what? You don't need to get into his eyes there. Oh my God, that totally does. Wow. All right.
This guy can
why am I
watch
laughing
the
at this
puck
this poor guy? He's gonna be like the one NHL player that listens to our podcast and gets pissed off at us.
He sees the guy coming for the hit, and he sees the puck.
Oh man! Oh, and then also I don't like to correct pronunciation, but it is Philip Hedel.
Hedel.
The C is silent.
Yeah, I don't like to correct, but I'm going to do it anyway. All right, dude.
I just want to make sure that people know how to pronounce it. That's all. But yeah, it does. I called him Cheidel for a while until I found out that it was not Cheidel. But anyways, yeah, good little move right now. He's on the second line, so he doesn't. He does the scoring thing a little bit. You don't like that. That ice time is not great, but he's scoring some points right now, so I definitely got to give him a look.
Yeah, keep your eye on him.
2 as often as I can spare them. But and then this next guy, Ivan Barbashev, I put him on here because in a little bit we're going to break into the schedule, but I'll just, I put him on here for schedule purposes because I was looking for like a streamer from St. Louis because St. Louis has a really good schedule this next week. So I landed on Ivan Barbashev because he has a little bit of name value because he had a great season last year. So far this year, not much to write home about. But, if you're looking for someone to possibly turn it around and has a really good schedule this week, Ivan Barbashev is definitely your guy. He's widely available. On the season, he's only getting 15-14 ice time, 2 goals and 3 assists. Last 7 days, 1 goal, 1 assist. He's on the third line and the top power play, so it's on that weird deployment that, usually is like, ooh, you don't like that too much. But, just the fact that they have such a good schedule and they have off nights and everything, I think this could be a nice little move this week.
For sure.
And then same thing with the next guy too, Jake.
Yeah, Shane.
You can mention the schedule.
Pinto. He's been super hot. Season stats: 15 minutes of ice time, 8 goals, 1 assist. Last week,
and he's also been scoring a lot of points in the league too, right, Jake?
Oh my God! Yeah, last week, 2 of those goals have come into play. So he's just a scoring machine.
Yeah, and then just he's a guy that's available from Ottawa, and they have a really good schedule this week. So you love to see it. Go pick these guys up. These are your deep league moves.
Yes, sir.
So now we're going to break into some buy low, sell high trades, and we'll start it off here with Jake's buy low.
Yeah, so this is actually a guy that people are dropping, Jordan Kyrou. I was able to pick him up in our competitive league off of waivers.
Can I join that league, dude? I want some free wins.
No, you're our league.
Our league?
Yeah, I picked him up off waivers. He was dropped.
Wow. I missed that one. That's crazy. Wow. Okay, tell me more.
Yeah, so anyway, I think most people aren't going to drop him in most leagues. I mean, he's down 4% to 70% owned. But if you can buy low, this is any time to do it. This is the time because he gets big minutes. He gets power play time. He just hasn't found his groove yet, but he's going to.
And by the way, neither has St. Louis really. They're kind of slow too. So, I mean, it all makes sense that he's slow and the team's slow.
But they'll figure it out, right? I mean,
I fully believe that they would figure it out. He's a young stud.
Yeah, he's one of the fastest guys in the league.
This is a really good buy low. I love this one. This is why we have the buy low segment, guys. For guys like this to let you know about that, people might want to trade. This is a really good move that you could possibly make. This guy is keeper level if he performs at his best level. So
yep.
Great option there. And then my guy, Mackenzie Weegar. Another guy starting slow. Jake, you can tell me a lot about Weegar's slow start, can't you?
Yeah, he'll just come back to dominate you in the championship again.
I fully expect it, but let me explain why everybody else should go try and get him right now, because I don't think after hearing this, you're going to want to give him to me. But he's been pretty disappointing so far, and Calgary hasn't been using him in the same way that Florida did, as kind of that Swiss Army knife kind of guy. He's just kind of existing out there in fucking no man's land on the second line. They don't have him on a power play, which in my professional hockey opinion is just ridiculous. I'm gonna call the coach up right now because I got his number on speed dial. I believe he is a way better player than Rasmus Andersson by a lot. I fully believe that he's a much better overall player than Rasmus Andersson. And every part of me says I believe it down to my core that he's going to get on the top power play at some point. Now is definitely your chance to get him at his absolute lowest. And while I may be a fool, I'll be on the Mackenzie Weegar train.
Not a fool, he remains.
But an honest fool, he remains.
Yes, thank you, Gandalf.
I didn't know he was saying it yet.
They do say that I am as wise as Gandalf, so nobody actually says that. So
nobody,
but I like to believe it. So now we'll move on to sell high. Jake, what do you got for sell high?
Yeah, my first one in sell high, Brock Nelson, 4.3 average in one of our leagues. It's probably lower in some, but depending on your scoring format, 9 goals and 18 points in 17 contests. I don't think that's sustainable. And I'm not pretty sure he can't keep that pace. I don't know. What do you think, Zach?
Yeah, I think that's a great one. And the Islanders are just really hot right now, and I think he's the biggest beneficiary of it. Brock Nelson's never put up a season where he's been like a player everybody's just like, oh my God, gotta go get Brock Nelson. He's been in the league a while. He's just having he's a lot like a Nino Niederreiter type player, where he just gets on hot streaks, And so, I mean, this is a really good hot streak that he's been on, one of his best ones that he might have ever had. Definitely, I don't believe it's going to keep up. I mean, he's getting good deployment and all that, but I just don't think he's that type of player. I don't believe it. I haven't seen it before. He's been in the league. This is 7th, 8th year in the league for him. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, this is definitely a good sell high. He's young enough, too, where you could say he's not old, and you could try and get something for him. I definitely think he could get you something right now. But he's not going to be this good by the end of the year, for sure.
For Cairo.
That would be really good if you could do that. That would be a great move.
The 70% rostered area.
I would be all over that. I would make that move in a second.
Brock is up to like 77% rostered.
Yeah, that's a yikes.
So, I mean, yeah, capitalize.
You could add up his percentage owned from the last 3 seasons, and it wouldn't add up to 77. That's weird. That's funny. I don't know if it's that bad, but, quick maths. So Brock Nelson, try and trade him. I think, why not? Because he's only going to go down from here, I believe. My guy, Dominic Kubalik, while I really am a big fan of how he's performing this year, and I believe that there might be something to it, I just don't think that he's going to be doing I just feel like this is your chance to try and sell high on him. He's performing really good right now. Trade him now at his highest. I believe this is his highest that he'll be at. And that's just one man's opinion. You know, you could disagree with me. That's fine. I'll allow it. But you can try and get someone steady like an Andrei Svechnikov or maybe a Brand Marchand or something like that, because that's the level of guys he's performing like right now. And I would take either of those two over him. So I don't know about you, Jake. Would that be a move that you would make if you had Kubalik? Would you want to get like a Svechnikov or a Marchand?
If you could.
I mean, that's the level of guys that he's next to right now in his points and everything, and you know,
Might be the level, but people know he's not.
But it's not just like this is like, oh, had like, you know, 4 games where he's scoring. He's been doing this over the last month.
Okay.
So I mean, he's got a month of looking
73% rostered. I would just
yeah,
try to get some top 50-esque player that's not doing as well right now, but should finish in the top 50.
Yeah. So I like that one, guys, you know. And then if the trades don't go through, Kubalik might have a career year, and you might, you know, but I mean, I think you should try and trade him now while he's at his high point and people might really be interested.
All right. Bet.
Yeah.
I added one late here. I wanted to ask you about Linus Ullmark, number 1 goalie.
Mm-hmm.
He's going crazy. I mean, do you think you could sell him high?
If you do sell him high, what are you really looking for? Because I think the only way you would want to sell him is if you have like another top goalie or another couple good goalies where you can. Yeah,
if you just don't believe he can keep it up, I would try to get like Connor Hellebuck.
Well, no, I wouldn't trade him for another goalie because I believe that he will keep it up, because the only reason Boston's goalies weren't like really highly drafted is because it was really the thought in a lot of circles. I'm in a lot of hockey circles, Jake.
Yeah.
It was the thought in a lot of circles that it was going to be like a 50-50 with Ullmark and Swayman. And that's what the vibe we were getting from the coaching staff. You know, when I would call up the coach after practice and talk to him, you know, that's the vibe that I got from our conversations.
Of course.
Yes. So, you know, and then just talking to all the players on the team, you know, that's just the vibe that everyone was going with. But they were just fucking with everyone and giving us a little crock of crap, on that, you know. And then the season starts and they're giving Ullmark like 70% of the starts, and they're not really doing Swayman. So, and then now Swayman is on injured reserve. So, you know, I believe that they knew that I think that Swayman going into the start of the season had a little bit of an injury. And I think that's why they weren't doing the 50-50. And now Swayman is hurt and he's on IR. So now Ullmark's definitely going to be getting like 70-75% of the starts. So just the fact that one of those Boston goalies is getting like majority of the starts, that's what you want. Like if that would have been known draft time, he would have been one of the highest drafted goalies for sure, because Boston is a great team. So all that to say, I wouldn't sell him high for another goalie. But if you had a good group of goalies on your team and you could afford to lose Ullmark, I would trade him to try and help yourself with like a good D-man or forward if you are low on those.
Okay.
But I do believe that if you keep him, he'll be a top 5 goalie this year if he keeps getting all the starts, for sure.
But can he keep the number 1 status?
I mean, he's been... maybe not the number 1 status. He might fall off from there, but I think he's not going to fall out of the top 10 as long as he's getting all those starts. They're too good of a team.
That's why I think he's peak value right now.
Well, yeah, but I also think he's a goalie that he's the one that you can run him out there with confidence every single start.
Yeah, it's not someone I would sell personally because I needed a goalie. That's why I picked him up. But yeah, if you had the depth, then do it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so now we're getting here toward the end of the episode. I know, sad. It's sad, everybody. We're getting to the end of the episode. I know we just want to talk hockey all day, every day. It's our lifeblood. But you know, everything comes to an end. So here we go to the schedule. So I got the best schedules of the week. So best schedules. I got Chicago Blackhawks. They got 4 games this week. They got Monday, Wednesday off nights against Carolina and St. Louis. They're one of only like 3 and 4 games those nights. So you love to see it. And then they got a Saturday, Sunday back-to-back against Boston and Pittsburgh. And Chicago's goalies have been slowly sneaky decent to start the year. But you might not want to start them against Boston and Pittsburgh, though. But you can be, there's plenty of low-owned players that are getting top power play on Chicago that just nobody wants, that are performing decent, like an Andreas Athanasiou, type guys like that. So go give him a look. Even Max Domi is still not quite really super high owned. And he's a top power play with Kane, and they're looking kind of good. But so you can go look at some guys like that for this. This is a great week to scoop those guys up and get them for 4 games. Then we got the LA Kings. They also got 4 games this week. They got Monday, Wednesday off nights against Calgary and Edmonton. So, your Michael Backlund, like we talked about, for a deep league move. He's playing on Monday on an off night, so that'll be good to get some extra bit of points on your opponent. And then even Tyson Barrie playing on Monday, get yourself some D points. And then they have a Friday, Saturday back-to-back against Vancouver and Seattle. So you can give them a look, even their backup goalies. And then we got St. Louis Blues. They have 4 games as well, and they got Monday, Wednesday off nights against Colorado and Chicago. And they have a Wednesday, Thursday back-to-back. So they got Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. Obviously Wednesday is the Chicago game, and then Thursday would be the Washington game. So be looking at players from those teams. And then they got Anaheim on Saturday. So, Saturday is a heavy day, but still decent schedule for St. Louis. And then we got the Ottawa Senators. They got 3 games this week, but they do have the Monday, Wednesday off nights. And they play the Islanders and the Buffalo Sabres. And then they got New Jersey Devils on Saturday, so that'll be a nice little game, the Ottawa Senators and the New Jersey Devils. Usually that's the battle of the chumps, but now it's going to be the battle of the champs. So that'll be a nice little fun game to watch. So there you go. That's your schedule. So now I'm just going to give you the worst. Definitely by far the worst. And I don't think this is a team that a lot of people are looking at. The Arizona Coyotes. They got 1 game this week, Jake, against Vegas. So can I get a yikes? Give me a yikes.
Yikes.
Okay, thank you. And then we got all the teams with 2 games this week. We got Boston Bruins. We got the Edmonton Oilers. We got the New York Rangers. We got the Seattle Kraken, the Vancouver Canucks, the Winnipeg Jets, all with 2 games. So just if you own their studs, you're dealing with it. If you're picking up streamers, stay away. If you're looking at backup goalies, stay away. Be looking at those teams that I mentioned, because those are by far the ones that'll get you some good points, because there's a lot of off-night games, and you'll definitely be able to get some extra points on your opponents. So hopefully you heed my advice, and I want to hear in the comments about how you did picking up our guys, and if you won your weeks. I definitely interested if our advice actually helps people win. So let us know. I'm really interested. And after you leave that comment, give us a like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, right, Jake?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because you want to get notified of when we drop our episodes. And go follow us on our social media. We got Facebook, facebook.com/Garden of Sports Podcast. We have Instagram, instagram.com/Garden of Sports. And we have Twitter, twitter.com/GOSPod 2021. Go give us a follow. Please, please, please. Thank you. And that will do it. We'll see you back here next week with another fresh fantasy hockey episode. Have a wonderful weekend. Lots of victories, everybody. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.